So we get asked all the time on what is the best thing for Crispi boots? How do we take care of them? How do we waterproof them?
Yep.
How do we make sure that we preserve the leather and then we get the longevity out of our boots? And what we have is a Crispi. It's a conditioning cream, is what it does. It actually comes with a little foam
Applicator pad.
pad, and makes it easy. And one of the things that people ask us all the time about waterproofing the leather is we want to make sure that people understand is that this is actually a cream. We feel like the importance of this cream is one, it keeps the oils in the leather.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps leather good, is actually the actual oils in the leather. So our cream actually keeps the oils in the leather as well as puts a waterproofing coat on the actual leather itself. What that allows it to do is it allows it actually to breathe. The breathability, we don't want to take the breathability out of the leather.
That's one of the best things about leather, is that it does breathe actually really well, and then it's enhanced obviously with the gore membrane. But one of the things the guys have asked us a lot, or we talk to at shows or they call us up, is can I use like an animal-based wax on this? And while some of those waxes may keep you dry from the outside, it doesn't allow the boot or to breathe, or the leather to breathe from the inside out. That's so right. You kind of end up with a little bit of a swamp foot. So that's why we recommend the Crispi waterproofing cream, because it does enhance the leather. These are a pair of boots. These are my Nevadas. They're about 6 years old. Just got them back from being resoled with the Crispi midsole and the new sole. The Rand is kind of shiny because the guy that does all this, he polished it up for me. But you can see that the uppers have seen a lot of miles, and they're ready for some use. One of the things that I don't know if guys have asked you, but they ask a lot, is how many times do I need to take care of my boots? We recommend at least more than 0. Yeah. We've seen a lot of boots out there that guys don't do anything with, and then they wonder why they're breaking down. Yeah. Me, what I've found, Mark, is in my hunting season, probably 2, sometimes 3 times, maybe at the beginning of the season, mid-season, end of season.
And I think some of it depends on what of condition you're in.
Yeah, and right? how often you're using them too.
Yeah. They get wet, they get dry, they get wet, dry. Eventually that starts to dry the leather out. And so that's the key.
That's true. If wet, dry, it'll dry that out much faster. And you can tell. You can see on this boot here, the coloration is starting to get a little lighter, and that usually is a great sign that, hey, it's time to recondition them. Yep. So outside of this boot's pretty clean. One of the things that I recommend guys is I have this brush here. This is actually a rock climbing brush the climbers use for brushing off holds. But taking a brush like this and brushing off the seams, gets a little bit of the grit out of there. This boot's actually pretty darn clean. It just looks old and maybe a little bit stained. If you've got a lot of mud on there, obviously wash it with a maybe a little bit heavier brush and some soap and water. Nick Wax makes a really good foaming soap for footwear. But once the boot's ready to go, using this cream is actually pretty easy.
Let's just show them how to put this cream on. So I just put it on the pad, and actually all you do is start to rub it in. Now it will change the color on the leather just a little bit. It will actually darken it.
Yeah, you can see that's darkening that a little bit.
Yep. So it's and you can put it on there as generous as you want, as light or as heavy as you want, doesn't matter. But it will darken the leather a little bit. So we'll just, for demonstration purposes, we'll just do a little bit here.
Yeah, and I'll probably, obviously what you're gonna want to do is pull the laces out, get all the way through the tongue, every last little bit of leather that you're gonna want to get. But that goes on really nice. If you feel like you got a little bit of excess, like there's a little bit here on the Rand, the other thing too is wait a little bit, because that will actually soak into leather. And like Mark said, you can use your finger if you want to, and I've done that before.
Yep, just work it in. That's the great part about our cream, is that we're working it into the leather to keep the oils in there, and then we're going to waterproof it. So I think you kind of see how quickly it works. If we just put a little bit of water right on it, you'll see that it actually just beads right up. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome. It
makes it easy.
Again, the main difference that I tell guys is our waterproofing cream is synthetic or water-based versus like an animal-based. And while those do really well, obviously you can see how quick and easy this goes on and how good it'll last. And you can see even on this side where we didn't get any of that, the water's starting to soak in here a little bit.
Yep. So that's what we recommend on boot care. Yep. And Crispi conditioning cream is what we recommend for all of our new buck boots, full grain leather boots.
Yep.
Makes it pretty easy.